Alright guys, this is actually the end of my video, but I decided to go down and show you guys what all tools that I used. You'll need a T27 for just about everything. Every bolt you'll be taking off, we'll use this. I used a 4mm at one point for to break loose one of the screws for the cam, because I replaced them anyway, and the 4 and the 27 are pretty much the same size. So I wouldn't recommend torquing with it, but braking torque, it ain't too bad. I use these in a few places for randomness. I used these to get some clips out, and I think that's about it. Flathead, you probably won't even need this, but I used it randomly. I have a couple things that are different than OEM, so I had some clamps and stuff to take off. You'll need this for the rest of the pressure clamps. And of course, this is the old gasket right here. And obviously you'll need new ones. I probably didn't need to replace the cam ones, but they said to, so I did anyway, might as well. And I actually think it was leaking from one of these, so whatever. Of course, you'll need a torque wrench if you're doing the motor mount, but and then your basic tool set if you even need it. But yeah, pretty simple stuff. Be in for a ride. Make sure you got about 2 hours set aside if you're doing this at home. It'd be nice to have a friend to help you, especially if you don't have good lighting in your garage like me. So I pretty much had someone holding onto a flashlight the whole time. But yeah, or I find places with my old phone to stick a light. But sorry about the dirtiness. Like I said, I live in the desert, so shit gets rough. But yeah, have fun. All right, guys, I'm gonna try and do as best as I can for you today. We're gonna replace the timing cover gasket. This big black plastic piece here is gonna come off. You gotta take off the old dipstick down here, another cable down here. I'm gonna move this coolant line and this PVC line out of the way. Take this, the oil cap off, these two cam sensors here. Those screws get replaced, I have those. I'll have all the seals and screws and everything you're gonna need to do this job in the description down below from Shop DAP. And we're just gonna wing it, because I don't have a DIY to go off of. So let's get her done. All right, so we got the fam bam out here helping out. So far we got a little screw right there. We got it partially the way out, so you can move this. There is a connector that hangs on it right here. I moved out of the way. I moved the coolant line out of the way, and whatever PVC hose, moved it up here. And then the cam connectors to go on the side here, I moved those out of the way up here. So next I'm gonna grab these. I think 8 of these, I believe, they go around the outside, and then these 6 of these guys. Man, makes my car look so dirty. I guess it really is. But don't mind the dirt, guys, but we're getting this done. Okay. We go over here, we got Jesse's grinding away at the new motor mount bolt. Cutting my head off of that. We'll get from our way. So trying to get this last bolt right there in the center of the screen, but I can't because the oil dipstick's in the way, and I can barely get this freaking screw out. So I'm taking the catch can out because I'm gonna empty it anyway, but this gives me more room to get to that screw. Once I get the screw out, I can move this and then get to that last bolt, and then take these guys off the side, get it to focus, and then the whole thing should come off. Go. All right, guys, so we're gonna empty the catch can. Might as well before I move this over. I don't want anything going back into the line. All right, ready for some gross. Ready? Still good. You're gonna have a few threads here. Okay, get this bitch out of here. Even wants to. Oh, my Allen key stuck. There we go. All right, just hold it right there. You down on it? All right, here we go. Oh my gosh. Holy shit, that thing was fucking tons. I did not expect all that. Holy shit. That thing was pretty freaking full. Wow. That's disgusting. Just, So Jesse just grounded off the bolt. Let me show you the old one here. So this is the old motor mount bolt. This is just really annoying because I don't have deep well sockets. So he grounded this off for me. Thank you very much. These are supposed to be one-time use. I've used it twice. This will be now a new one for the catch can. But take a look at this. You guys saw that come out, but oh my God, look at that. Let me see how this looks on camera. That is freaking disgusting. I should have emptied it before. Like, it wasn't near the top of the dipstick, so this thing the catch can obviously hold quite a bit. But that is just straight nasty. Think about all that would have been in my engine. I mean, most of it's water, but I mean, the oil and the fuel is sitting on top. And then I guess this is the oil really itself, and then the water. God damn, that's disgusting. Anyway, back to getting this freaking gasket off. All right, guys, we got it off. It's kind of cleaned up the edges here and whatnot. This is the old gasket, and then the old camshaft gaskets, or the cam sensor gaskets. Pretty cool. What we're looking at here is a bunch of fancy stuff, and kind of scares me. This is expensive, but yeah, that's what she looks like. Timing chains look like timing chains. Doesn't look like anything crazy's going on in there. You can actually see my cams right there. Boom. Skirt. See Audi symbols everywhere. Anyway, so the cam sensors look like that. Basically just big old magnets, I'm assuming. But they pretty much only go in one way if you looked at how they went on. So that's pretty simple shit. I'm gonna pop these gaskets back in, clean it up a little bit more. Yeah, it's gonna be a tight fit getting it back in there, but hopefully this fixes it. All right, guys, the swap over is pretty simple. You just pop them in. These really like hug. They pop right in basically, and you'll lay this down and then pop your screws back in. Your screws are actually held in by the gasket. Yeah, actually I'll pull one out for you so you can see. You see this? The gasket basically sits in between here, and this kind of, it helps the gasket stay on, and it helps so you're not losing your freaking screw. So pretty nifty stuff. If you ever worked on, I don't know, a VR6, it kind of has at least the same thing for the valve cover. But I might throw a little bit of extra sealant over here because this is where I believe it was leaking from. I got some Volkswagen sealant from way back, so I'm gonna throw a little bit on here around the outside and down in this groove, and hopefully that fixes everything. All right, guys, it's pretty simple. You just put it back in the way you took it out. I went around and did all of these first, these outside ones, and made sure that they weren't cross-threading. I got them hand tight, then I put the cam sensors in. They only line up one way. I kept them in order so you know which one goes where. I don't think it matters though. And then these little guys in the center, they're hand tight plus 1/4 turn, and I'm gonna do a little bit more than that for these. I'm about to torque them down here in a minute, and then once I do that, we'll stick the catch can back in. And like I said, I put a little bit of little extra gasket sealer on there. It's used for, I use it on my valve cover on my VR6 and for the oil pan. It's the same stuff. So I'm gonna let it dry out for at least an hour, hour and a half before I drive the car. But hopefully I won't have any more leaks. If it was leaking, it would leak back down in here around, there's like this little hole like right around there. You can kind of see where it's dirty, but that's where it would always drip from. So you can see everything's dirty back here now because I've been leaking oil. So I need to get back here, get someone to clean up all this up. Hopefully the dealership will do that. But yeah, hopefully this is all good. I'll get back to you guys when it's all done and put back together. All right, guys, I apologize. This isn't like the best DIY. My back is killing me right now. It's just taking me way longer than what I should have had to. I had some other shit going on around the house. My roommate's smoke and that little butt thing we have out front caught fire because it's so windy. Someone didn't put their cigarette out. I had to deal with that, and just little things going on here. But the biggest bitch is going to be that guy right there. So make sure you undo this bolt right there in the middle of the screen, so that loosens this up so you can get to it. I didn't do that at first. That one down there isn't too bad. All the rest are pretty easy. So there's 3 of these on each of the cams, and there's one right back here in the back, and then these AC lines right here getting away. So that's a pain in the ass. Now, other than that, it's pretty simple. It's just time consuming. Make sure you take your coolant line off here, take off this line here. But I made a little mess down there, but it's all good. Now I'm gonna put the catch can back in, call it a day. I'm just gonna pick my coolant back up. But all in all, this wasn't too bad. Better than paying a dealership, I guess. You know, they should have did it right from the beginning. But yeah, I'll show you guys if I think of anything else while I'm putting this catch can back in. All right, guys, everything's put back together now. The torque for the motor mount, if you're doing with the catch can, is 29 foot-pounds plus a quarter turn. So there's that. You guys seen all the gunk that came out of there. Well, now it's settled a little bit, and you can see just, oh, that's disgusting. Always run a catch can. Don't mind my dust. I live in the fucking desert. It's disgusting, but yeah, there's that. And yeah, thanks for watching. Sorry it wasn't the best DIY, but I mean, it's pretty simple. You do all the outside bolts and then do the 3 on each cam sensor, pull it off along with the screw for the dipstick and all whatever hoses you want to move out of your way, take it off, clean it up, replace the gaskets. I use a little Volkswagen RTV, whatever you want to call it, gasket bullshit. I'm gonna let that dry all night before I drive the car again, but then, you know, you just reinstall. You gotta fiddle with it a bunch. But I mean, I hope this helps you. If you need anything specific, feel free to message me on Facebook or Snapchat or Instagram. Everything's down in my description, along with all the gaskets and bolts that you need from Shop DAP. Everything's pretty cheap, and yeah, I hope I helped. Now I'm gonna make a little video to put in the beginning of this with all the tools that I used, but that's irrelevant. Yeah, that's all I got. So y'all take care. Like I said, we'll be going to Denver at the end of next week, so get the tune updated. Looking to get motor mounts, rotors, pads, all. I'm gonna wait until after the Denver trip, and with whatever money's left over, I'm buying car parts. So hopefully I'll be able to get engine mounts too. I really want the BFI mounts, so stage 1 be lit. And yeah, stay tuned for the next one, and I'll catch you on the flip flop.